guys? It's Shinoo with Kinetic. Here with a new video. Lotus has just introduced a new concept car that really got me excited, and thought let me make a quick video with my comments about the car, things I like, things I don't like. Concept cars, ever since I was a little kid, really got me excited. And the car manufacturers, they use these concepts, right, to get people excited about their products. They act as a halo, right? And it also kind of previews what might come from this manufacturer later on. And sometimes concept cars are very thinly veiled production cars. In other cases, they're really wild and out there. I think in the case of the Lotus Theory 1, it seems pretty indicative of maybe what the future is going to hold for a Lotus EV sports car. But I do believe there is a fair number of things on this car that are a little bit too far out there, and we may not see that in the next or the first EV production sports car from Lotus that is reasonably affordable, unlike, say, the Avaya at $2 million. So anyhow, let's jump straight into my comments about the Theory 1. This car, the design of it is fantastic. I love every single angle. There's often times where I will like one side of the car, but not the other. Maybe the front, but not the rear, or maybe not the side. The Avaya was a concept car that ultimately some of the design elements made its way into the production Emira. I'm hoping on the Theory 1 that may be the case. But there are things, for example, on this car that I think are so superb, yet so progressive, and exactly what we look for in my opinion, in concept cars. I want to push the edge. I don't want to go too far. And I think when I look at the car, they've done a wonderful job of balancing curvaceous, kind of voluptuous, organic shapes like the front of the car, the fenders, and then how it flows into the rear of the car, the rear three-quarter and the haunches there look almost flat. They're curved, but that looks far more modern than the front does. And the way they juxtaposition and then flow them in, I just love it. The front nose, if you look underneath, the white section that flows from the front along the side into the rear, wonderful. And then even the rear shot of the car, really, really cool. Modern, clean, wing is integrated, that comes up as needed. Otherwise, it stays in the low position, creating a really beautiful rear end without too many extra appendages, right? So I was absolutely smitten with this design. I mean, I really love it. And, there are sections at the front that are, I think, polycarbonate, and you can see through it. There's quite a bit of aero designed into this car, and there's negative spaces that you can see. And, it's interesting. Several manufacturers now are doing cars like that. The Ford GT certainly, but if you look at the BAC Mono, it was really one of the first cars that really had a lot of negative spaces, but enveloped that in these other panels, so you could see an overall shape, but yet it had a very light, lean look to it. And I think that this Theory 1 does this exceptionally well. I love the fact that it's using all sorts of different recycled materials. It's got recycled carbon. You can see that it looks very much like the forged carbon that you've seen in Lamborghinis. Even I think BMW's i3, the chassis was made from some type of recycled, carbon. So it's beautiful to see that material there. They're using other recycled materials. But probably the thing that I love the most about this car is the fact that it's a three-seater. Many of you know that the McLaren F1 is my absolute favorite car, and that three-seat configuration is so cool. What I really love is a central driving position, right? If you've driven a car on a road or on a racetrack in a central driving position, like a Formula car or a McLaren F1 or a BAC Mono. Mono is what I've driven. I've driven also Formula cars, and it's wonderful. It's really great. That is a perspective that we just don't get in two-seaters or four-seaters, right? So Theory 1 has got it. I love it. I'm super excited about that. The interior has a lot of, other interesting features. They have 3D printed the headrests, so it has a very cool organic look to it. I love the way the headrest has been integrated into the chassis. If you look at the headrest, it doesn't actually meet the lower back of the seat. Really, really creative. Love all that. You know, the seat appears fixed and the pedals and the steering wheel move towards you, right? So lots of things there. They talk about DNA, digital, natural, and analog. I'm not sure what all of that truly means, but it's some marketing speak, if you will, to get people excited about the fact that I think Lotus are trying to look forward but not forget about their past, right? So anyways, what are the things that I'm less excited about the car? I mean, to be honest, I really am excited about this car. So there's very few things I'm really not that, excited about. But, the fact that it's going to be an EV as opposed to an ICE vehicle, maybe less excited about that. But you know what? I do like EVs and have been embracing them. And so for that reason, I don't give them too much of a knock. Frankly, the fact that it's an EV gives them a lot of latitude, particularly with the design, interior, exterior, that they're able to utilize, because now integrating a battery pack gives them a lot more flexibility. So that negative, in the one hand, from a propulsion perspective, gives them some positives on the design side of things. So what else was there? It is a concept car. Are we really going to see something that looks like this? I hope so. I'd like to think that the next EV sports car from Lotus will have that. They're really trying, if you look in their marketing, to really pull in the heritage that they have. I don't see the design connection between the Esprit or a Type 72 in this particular car, or the 11. But you know what? Lotus has the heritage, so they need to do things like this, because they have to remind a lot of people that they are a 75-year-old company with F1 championships under their belt. So a bit of a con in that I don't see as much of the visual connection, but the heritage is absolutely there, right? And probably the only other thing that I might say that I'm less excited about, the doors are so cool, right? Really, really cool, very, very creative, new way to do doors. But I think it looks a little complex from an engineering perspective. Many of you probably know that doors are one of the most complex components on a car. Very difficult to engineer and make work right and look good, right? And so I think those doors are going to be a bit of an engineering nightmare to develop. But, if they put their mind to it, I'm sure they certainly could do it. So anyhow, guys, I'm excited to see Lotus showing us a sports car finally, after it feels like a few too many years of SUVs and sedans, which again, I 100% embrace their approach. They need some volume cars, and it is going to come from 2C sports cars, unfortunately. We know what that has given them in the past. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. If you haven't gone to the Lotus website, make sure you do, to check out more details about the Theory 1. It's a cool car, and I hope it really bodes well for the Lotus's future. Thanks for watching.